And we are live on this week's Flippinar. This is Ty, aka the Flip Man. I'm going to be solo tonight. My girl A had a situation she had to take care of. So it's just me rocking and rolling on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, LIVE. So you all are going to have to put up with me and on tonight, trying to read questions or whatever. So those of you that are trying to get on through Flippinar.com, I changed the site a little bit to try to make it a little easier to be able to access the Flippinars. I should have been done that. But hey, I'm just one cat. So I'm trying to get the link here over to there so you all can make it happen. So boom. So the link is there on Flippinar.com. As a matter of fact, I said I was going to do this to show people how to actually do it just from the actual video. So excuse if it just start blasting here. But I know it is. But yeah, so we're live there on the site. What I'm going to do is show you how to access it through the site. This is more for people on the replay. If it'll actually load, it's tripping. Maybe because a lot of people are going to it or whatever. But we'll come back to that. It'll let me know when it's loaded. So, but again, welcome to the this week's Flippinar. I'm going to be alone, so you can start loading your chat and comments, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Probably going to be a little difficult, but we're going to try to get through it. But again, AP couldn't be here tonight. She had something going on that she just had to attend. So again, I'm going to show you how to actually use the site. So I'm going to share my screen here. But the site is tripping, maybe because so many people are going to it that it's not accessible. But again, go ahead and load your questions on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and I'm going to try to do my best here. Try to do my best. So again, we're live on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. You can start loading your questions, and I'll get right to them. I'm gonna go ahead and share the screen. I don't really need to have the site up to do that. The video playing. So boom. So boom. So anyway, when you get over to Flippinar.com, wow, it's tripping. When you get over to Flippinar.com, if you want to access YouTube or Facebook, you simply go to down here to one of these banners and you tap which one you want, and boom, you're in. So again, I'm more or less showing this to individuals that'll see the replay on this. I'll try to start doing this every week. People seem to have trouble getting to the site. So you see the website address up here is Flippinar.com, Flippinar.com. And all you have to do if you're on YouTube or Facebook, just choose which one you want to access. You can do that on smartphone, tablet, PC, or laptop. Now, as far as with Instagram, you just simply you need to be following me, and you should get an actual notification that hey, he's live, and so you go from there. So let's get into it. So I'm gonna start in the chat room. Again, I'm gonna have to try to go back between platforms here to try to figure out. So bear with me. All right, so first on YouTube, let's see what we got here. Someone has an actual deal. All right, let me see. I don't want to miss anything. Got people from Birmingham. Somebody said, go Astros. Said wrong shirt. Well, this is supposed to be purple. I don't know how it's coming across on the screen, but it's supposed to be purple. I'll start with Shaq's question. Shaq Smith, can you speak on the JV wholesale deal? Good question to start off. Again, to access the Flippinar, just go to Flippinar.com. You can send anyone over there to access this Flippinar.com and just select the banner as far as YouTube or Facebook, and boom, you're in, even on the replays. So, but again, Ty, can you speak on the commercial wholesale JV with you? All right. I'm specifying the type of properties that I'm targeting. Okay, ideally, because most people can identify these pretty easy. I don't want vacant shopping centers. They need to be probably about 50% vacant, somewhere in that range, 50, 60, 70%. Where it's obvious that there's business there, but it's obvious it's either the entire shopping center is missing other businesses to fill those spaces. I'm not sure where the breakdown in communication is, but some people just sending me places that are for lease. No, we're trying to buy the entire property. On vacant single tenant buildings, that's a whole nother ball game in itself. And I can't go through that. That's extensive training on that. That's what the course is for that. But this is not about a course. It's just about you sending leads and we both getting paid off of it. If it's a single tenant building, meaning that there's one building, one tenant, the building needs to have the tenant, meaning that it needs to be occupied with the actual tenant and they're paying the lease. So it needs to be producing income. Apartment buildings, multifamily, they can be vacant or actually leased. But with all of this being said, they need to be off market. And my definition of off market is that if you Google the address, it is not for sale anywhere online. The main site that is probably going to be for sale on in most cases is LoopNet. But just generally speaking, it can't be for sale online. It's just going to automatically eliminate it. Won't give it 2 seconds. If I Google the address and I can pull it up and see it's for sale somewhere. All right. The other thing is that you need to be dealing either with the owner or the actual broker. Question came up, well, if I'm dealing with the broker, isn't it listed? No, that doesn't mean that, because the property, using a shopping center as an example, it may be half vacant, but normally they have for lease signs all in those vacant spaces. So those are normally going to be brokers. So you contact the broker, say, hey, I'm not calling about leasing a space, but don't want to be interested in selling the property. So now the broker is involved, but it's not advertised for sale. You see what I mean? So, or it may be a property manager of a multifamily property and it's not for sale anywhere online, but you call and ask, would they be interested in selling? Now brokers involved. Now, hopefully you can just get to the owner, but a lot of times it's not going to be possible. So that's why I have to include brokers when I explain that. And so you send it over to go to ICCRE.com. That's ISEECRE.com. which means ICCommercialrealestate.com. CRE is just short for commercial real estate. And you submit your property. Normally, I contact you almost immediately if most of you have already experienced. If I haven't, you need to reach out to me, because that means I didn't get it. I overlooked it. But I'll reach out to you, do a quick search on a couple of things, maybe ask you some more questions, and go from there. If we can pull the trigger on a deal, now you're going to do most of the due diligence. So you're going to be involved in it. So it's going to be a learning experience for you. At some point, I'll have to interject and spend more time on it myself. Normally, if it gets to the contract phase of it, and that's where everything goes into motion. So non-students, 70-30 split. Obviously, I'm getting the 70. Students, 50-50. You paid, so you're in. But anyway, so that's how it pretty much works. All right. Roger Smith, how come you don't do more videos on lease option process? Because it's not my thing. Why don't I do deals on subject twos? It's not my thing. Why don't I do a lot of videos on fix and flip? Not my thing. I don't know how to explain. I've done all of that, but wholesaling is what I feel like I have the most. Well, it's not what I feel like, it's what I am. I have more experience and it fits me. I'm sure there are tons of videos out there from others that do it. Now, students, if they got involved in a lease option, I can walk them through them, but there's no actual training on that. So just to answer the question, a lot of money can be made in lease options, but it's just not my thing. All right. Said, what if you got somebody selling their house, 184K? How can I make money off that? You're leaving out a lot of details, Denzo Berry. There's a lot of houses out there for sale, but where's the opportunity? You know, as a wholesale transaction, the first thing you need to figure out, what is the ARV? Is there ARV 350? Yeah, you probably have an opportunity there. If the ARV is 220, you probably don't have an opportunity. So you're leaving out a lot of information. It's really hard for me to even answer that for you. All right, another one from YouTube. Don't want to go down too far. How do you get your assignment fee added to your PayPal card? It's a good question. I don't know if I would want to do it that way, depending on how much it is. That's a good question. You got to answer how much it is, and I probably can give you some options, even though that wouldn't be a way I would want to actually get paid. But hey, who am I? All right. Dr. Dre, I think it's Dr. The Goose Will from Facebook says 50% occupied. Yeah, it could be 50%, 70%, 30% vacant. You know, 30% would be some distress, would prefer 40 and higher, 40% and higher. Yeah, somebody say the shirt is very blue. Believe it or not, it's purple, though. It's coming across the screen as blue, but believe it or not, it's actually purple. I know I'm not colorblind. I wish I had a blue one to show you, but it's actually purple. Who said that? Miss Williams, I think. All right. Next question. What up, everyone? Mike from New York. All right. So we have Jasmine Rodriguez. Hey, Flip man, I'm currently looking at a residential vacant lot in a desirable area. However, the land is $37,000. What amount would you buy and wholesale it at? Well, again, just as I answered the question before, I got to have some idea of what other lots are going for in that area, Jasmine, if you can post that in the chat here. Realm Real Estate Professionals says, do I need a website to be more successful as an investor? A website is a tool just like your cell phone or even your vehicle. If you're in business, you really need a site. It doesn't prevent you from doing deals. It just makes it a lot easier to do deals. So hopefully that answers it. You don't have to have one. You just like you don't have to have a phone, but it makes it a lot easier to do deals. Because, you know, websites have not always existed, you know, but deals have always existed. So, but I would strongly encourage you to do it at some point. So we got someone from Jacksonville, Lease 724. Yeah, Adria Shacksmith. Adria's not here. She had a situation she had to take care of. So she's not going to be here, I don't think. So Anthony says, what up, Anthony? All right. Realm Real Estate Professionals. Again, say, how do I wholesale out of the MLS as a realtor for myself? Well, at the end of the day, it still boils down how great of a deal it is. Now, MLS, there are tons of deals. There are tons of eyeballs looking at those same deals. So if you can turn a property into a deal, an existing listing there into a deal, then so be it. But the process would be the same. Place it under contract, find a buyer for it. If you're an actual agent yourself, I guess you'll be acting as an investor on your own. Then, of course, you just have to disclose that and you're good to go. But dealing with other agents, that can be a little tricky, because you assume that most of them know about wholesaling, where most of them actually don't know about wholesaling. So, but it can definitely be done, but at the end of the day, it starts with it being a great deal. All right, we got someone, Dino from Joliet, Illinois, I guess that's how you pronounce it. 2452D says, I guess, are you interested in property in Indiana and Pennsylvania? If it's commercial, just go to, just do a search here on YouTube, flip commercial buildings in your market. And that was one of my more recent videos. Author in Hollywood Hills. Adrian in the chat, but she in the chat, but she can't get to a laptop or whatever. So that's what's happening. But she'll be here answering questions. So good, she can help me out there. Good, AP. That's what's up, baby girl. All right, so everybody's saying my shirt is black, blue, but it's purple. All right, so Dominique Hedges says, is dealing with a broker the same as dealing with a real estate agent, or is it the payout different? They're the same thing. It's just like saying dealing with someone that works at McDonald's. You got a manager and then you got the cashier, which the cashier can be a manager. You see what I'm saying? So it's the same. It doesn't matter. It's just another term. Broker normally means that it's just another level of certification, or they got agents up under them. So, but they're the same thing virtually. As far as you're concerned, they're the same thing. All right. Sergio says, how do I find the owner to a house? Well, Sergio, the first thing you should do is figure out where the tax bill is going. If it's in a disclosure state where that information is public information, so the tax bill has to go somewhere, assuming that the address is different than the address of the property that you're targeting. So if you try to find a phone number for them, or you send them a piece of mail asking to buy the house. Another thing you can do, you can ask the neighbors, you can skip trace looking for some relatives, and you give neighbors or relatives or potential relatives incentives to pass your number along to the owner to see if they're interested in selling. So those are just some simple ways to do so. All right. See if we got anything else on what's the name? Nope, we don't. Okay, so what we got? Again, you can access all Flippinars on YouTube, Facebook at Flippinar.com for future reference. I put a video there to show you how to do it. I should have done that a long time ago, but idiots, it takes time for idiots. All right. David Thompson says, have you ever sent direct mail to an eviction list, or do you just use a shotgun approach with absentee owners? B is the answer. I use a shotgun approach, and that encompasses all of the above. All right. Nicholas 15 says, can I make more money with probates? I'm not sure what you mean by making more money. Opportunities are opportunities. So to answer your question, I can't say you can make more money. By no means I can say that. A deal is a deal, no matter what the source is or what the motivation may be. All right. LeBurn says, asking a question, the buyer wants to quit claim back, but taxes sold is still in redemption period. You don't have anything. Whether they owe taxes or not, quit claim is worthless. In my opinion, you can't, most buyers are not going to deal on a quit claim situation. because you can't get a warranty deed, or which means you can't get title insurance. That's the way it works in most states. All right. Who else we have here? Off-roader says, Ty, I'm putting a property under contract tomorrow. The ARV is $150,000 and I'm getting it for $15,000. But the house is gutted. How do I advertise it? That sounds like a deal, but obviously Craigslist, costs it's free. You want to one of the things that's underrated, what I would encourage you to do, just simply do a Google search of sell my house fast, buy my house fast, sell a house fast, cash house buyers, those type of search terms. And a lot of wholesalers and actual buyers, investors, they advertise heavily on Google. And so you'll see the sponsored ads there. They're spending a lot of money to be at the top of Google. So they are looking for deals, placing signs out in that area where the house exists. Bandit signs, handwritten bandit signs. If you do a good job of those will work really well. And obviously you can call on bandit signs that exist in your market. So those are just a few ways you can locate a buyer. Okay, I lost my place here, so here we go. All right. Quincy Mack says, Quincy MCC, owners want me to help sell a house for, $250,000 and give me 3%. I'm not a licensed, agent. How do I go about that? You don't want to deal on that term. They need to give you a price. You place it on the contract at that price. And if you can make money from it, roll with it, but otherwise you don't want to play that game with them, in my opinion. Ski TV says, hi, how can I get more info on how to wholesale a pre-foreclosure? I've talked about it in different videos. I don't really have a topic on it because, again, that's not my thing. But with a pre-foreclosure, obviously it's going to probably be it doesn't have to always be. Sometimes the equity is already there, so it's really irrelevant there in pre-foreclosure. But assuming that there's not enough equity there for you to do a deal, so that means you're going to have to go through a short sale process with an actual lender, which means they're going to have their process. Going to probably have to gather some docs from the seller, submit it, wait 30 to 90 days on the lender to get back with you to either accept your offer or counter. So that's the game you're playing. So if they come back with a price that works for you, you need to have a buyer that's ready to go. That's it. Not my thing, because that's 30 to 60, 90 days you're waiting. They come back with a counter offer that's not even close to what you need to work. And I just don't have the patience for it. And then but I'm not telling you not to do it. I'm just telling you why I don't do it. Unless they just come my way and the equity is already there. So the pre-foreclosure or the behind in payments won't even matter. So, all right. So I have Michaela Johnson. When proposing a deal to a buyer, what do you tell them if they ask you if you're the owner? I'm a wholesaler. I have it under contract. That's it. Jasmine Rodriguez, do you use the ARV form on the vacant residential lots? No, you can't. That's just a different ball game. Lots. A lot of it's going to be activity that's in the area, how cheap you're getting it. Like with anything, it's just going to have to be how cheap, how big of a discount you're receiving. But using that particular formula, I guess no, that's not just going to work. It's just going to be different with lots because there's so much speculation in it. Real estate is speculation in general, but with vacant land, it's a lot of speculation. There's nothing to hold on to a vacant lot if you're trying to sell it for 2, 3, 4 years or longer or whatever, depending on where it is. So even in attractive areas, you'll see lots that'll sit there for 4 and 5 years or longer. So when I say attractive, we say an A area or a B plus area or whatever. All right. Franklin says, How, Ty, would you go about doing an out-of-state deal? How do you go about doing an out-of-state deal? Would you find a buyer in the local area? Would you use a liaison on your behalf or anything else? Well, yeah. If you're trying to do a deal out of state, you got to have someone on the ground working in your behalf. If nothing else, to keep the seller and the buyer not really apart, but to delegate if they do have to meet, just because you don't have a lockbox or a key to the property. So you got to have someone on the ground to assist you in some form or fashion. All right. Tremaine Lewis says, I've been sending out 100 plus letters per week, getting a few calls, but no deals. How much should I increase? Well, with direct mail, man, it's a snowball effect. If you can afford to continue to do the 100, keep doing it. That's what, 400 a month. Just keep doing it. It'll just pay off. You know, one deal will take care of your campaign for a year, if not 2 years. Just keep compounding it. It's what I would tell you, do what you can afford. If that 100 is what you can afford comfortably, keep rolling with it. It'll pay off. You just got to be consistent with direct mail. I don't know your entire strategy or campaign or what type of list you purchased, but assuming that you did just some basics, then yeah, keep rolling with it. Somebody said the shirt is blue purple. Out of state. All right. Someone from New Jersey, Kathy in New Jersey, and I'm sorry, Jersey Shore. Jersey Shore in the house, as she said. Okay. All right. Lead Leza 724. I'm finding a lot of vacant houses versus houses with absentee owners. I'm currently skip tracing the owners for vacant properties. Is this wise to look at vacant houses that are run down? It doesn't matter about the condition as long as that all the houses don't look like that on the street or a good number of them. If it's just a house just sticking out like a sore thumb, then no, that's no problem at all. You want to pursue it, because the worst thing that you want to do is put a house on the contract and every other house looks like that, so that's what your investors will see when they roll up. Not saying you couldn't find an investor to buy it, but it's more difficult. It just is. All right, let me see what else we have here. All right, Deborah Garnier, I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. Ty, houses that are boarded up, what steps do I take to flip it? I'm assuming you mean wholesale it. No different. You got to find out who owns it. Once you determine who owns it, hopefully the address that you have is different from the address of the property that you're targeting, as I mentioned before. And you reach out to them by direct mail or phone. And, just 5 minutes ago, I explained it in detail. So you need to go back and watch that. Hopefully you were already listening and I answered that in more detail. All right, Arthur, where do you get your list from to do mailers? Listsource.com or Melissa.com, or it's called Melissa Data, but I think the actual website address is Melissa.com. All right. All right, Rock Case said, I'm about to renew my yearly membership on POF.com. I want to know, how do I do deals on MLS? Every time I submit my information on realtor.com, they never get back to me to the property. Well, first thing, I'm not when you say submit your information, are you saying you're reaching out to the agent asking about the property? That's not how I would do it. They're normally going to have their phone number there. Just either pick up the phone and call them about it or text them about it, because it's not, you're assuming that they're getting those messages. So that's what I would encourage you to do if you're trying to reach out to an actual agent. Morel Johnson says, is Houston a good market or too much competition? What is that? The fourth largest city in the country, probably 6 or 7 million people. You did 30 deals in 2018. No one would know you existed, but that may mean $300,000 later. So no, it's not too much competition. Too many people, man. You know, if it's at a town of 6 or 7,000, but 6 or 7 million, you know, I'm talking about Metro Houston. Is no one person or group of people in a market like that can buy all the houses. Just not possible. It's just not possible. All right. Hope you all are bearing with me. Man, I miss my girl. Let me see here. All right. I'm in Houston. Queen Richardson, I'm in Houston. All right. So we have Pamela Don. Mobile home attached to land. ARV looking at Zillow 45,000, but I don't really know. The area repairs look like 15,000. Would you go ahead and get it under contract, and for how much? Well, if it's a mobile home, number one, Zillow goes out the window in most cases because mobile homes are just like cars. They depreciate like automobiles. So I would encourage you to do this. Find out the year of the mobile home, manufacturer, the size. You say the land comes with it, so you have to factor that in. But as for the mobile home, you need to separate those two prices. And so once you get that information, you can call mobile home dealers in your area, see if they buy used mobile homes, and give them the specs on that one. Don't give them the location, and see what they will pay for it. And you make your decision from there on what needs to be offered. Again, the land has to be taken into consideration, but as far as structuring your offer, they need to be separated. All right. Real estate professionals again. What advice would you give when contacting pre-foreclosures? I'm not sure what you mean by that. You're basically letting come whenever if you can reach them. Now, understand what pre-foreclosure got. I know it sounds good, and I hate to be negative on it. I just like to give people the real, because I know a lot of smoke is being blown up. You know what out there. Understand what pre-foreclosures. These people are going through a rough patch in their lives financially, and they can be very difficult to reach. So that's your first hurdle. The other hurdle is you're not the only one trying to reach them. So there's going to be a lot of competition trying to reach them. If you do reach them and they actually talk to you and consider selling, then that's the process. So contacting them, you're going to direct mail if you can figure out a phone number, but from what I know about it, just from personal experience, when that bill is not being paid, hey, probably a lot of other bills not being paid, and your phone is blowing up with all types of debt collectors. So answering the phone is probably not even an option. Hopefully, maybe you can get a number, you can text them, and they respond or whatever. But probably direct mail. Some people just walk up and knock on the door if they're still living there. So. But pre-foreclosure, man, those are a beast. You need to be doing a lot of them, because you'll have so many that won't go through, similar to just doing them where they don't owe anything. You got to talk to a lot of people to get the price you want. No different pre-foreclosure, just a lot of work that goes into those. So yeah. So I'm neglecting Facebook over here. Let me see what we got. All right, so Tony Robinson said, is this guy that owns a house down the street from me and been in the business for around 15 to 20 years. I was wondering, should I contact him to wholesale his house? Well, yeah, you can reach out to him to see if he's interested in selling. I wouldn't contact him and say, I want to wholesale your house. You just want to let him know you want to buy the house. That's from Facebook, Anthony. So, somebody said my shirt is blue again. Anyway, What am I missing here? Let me see. Oh, someone was actually answering this question, I think. All right. What is her name? Taya Ronan. She says, for newbies, would you recommend a deal with vacants before trying to deal with pre-foreclosures? Well, you just want to find a deal, whether it's vacant, occupied, or whatever the situation is. As I've spoken, I guess you heard me a moment ago, pre-foreclosures are a little more difficult just because of what you have to put into them and how long you have to wait just for a counter from the bank. All right. Dominic Hedges said, do you know how much about the short sale process, or is it similar to dealing with the bank? I just explained that. So just if you didn't hear it, just go back to the beginning part of it. Maybe about 20 minutes into this particular replay. All right. Where do you get blank banner signs? Actually, I went to, someone told me about Home Depot sold the corrugated plastic. And I actually took a picture of that for students, but you can get them there, or you can get them from Dirt Cheap Signs. Lionel posted there. You can call and order them. I recommend that you buy, if you're trying to target sellers, I recommend that you do printed signs. It's not going to cost you that much more, but you're going to get a better effect just because of the visibility is going to be better than what you can hand write up, just in my opinion. So, but both work, just the handwritten. Most people don't know how important it is on the right markers you should use for those. So, all right. So, Mr. GG, what are the main factors needed to determine if any multifamily commercial property is a deal or not? Or are you still running $97 special on the video on apartment training? Well, the main factors on a multifamily property starts with income, condition, number of units, how many are occupied, condition of the property, if I didn't say that. At the end of the day, what's the NOI and the cap rate, which goes into the price that they're trying to sell it for. And obviously, if you can get terms, to get into it easy, makes it more attractive if the terms are favorable. You don't have to have multifamily discounted as heavy as you do with houses, especially if you're talking in a wholesale sense. On commercial property, it's just going to vary depending on what type of property you're talking about. As far as the training I did, the live training I did in Huntsville back on, I think, October 9th, I recorded it and made it available on Flippinar.com. I initially made it available for $97. Right now, it went up a little bit, so you can go there and check it. And I don't want to quote the price because that will probably change or whatever. You can go to Flippinar.com and see the new rate, but it did go up, to answer your question, sir. All right, Laverne Grayson says, what if taxes sold and in redemption period? Can you still wholesale? No. If it's still in a redemption period, no, you can't. You can't get a clear title. It's still the person, the owner still owns it. They still have a period where they can go back and pay the taxes plus whatever interest has accrued, depending on the state that you're in, however it works. So no, you can't. Farrell says ARV is 149K. You're gonna have to remind me which property you were talking about, Farrell. All right. Gene Davis says, Ty, we just want to tell you thank you for doing these Flippinars and all the videos. Gene, I appreciate you taking out your time to even be here to post your comments in the chat. So thank you for watching, and hopefully the information helps you on your journey to getting some checks. And I forgot about my gator, so I ain't had a reason to break it out yet, but I'm just gonna break it out just to break her out with all the teeth. So So what we got here? So Simone, wait a minute. Let me see. Do you use? All right. I'm sorry, Mike Alicia. I think I'm pronouncing that correct. Why are estimates on Zillow so different from public reference market value? Well, that's just appraisals in general. Normally, not always, the market value that the county projects is going to be normally a little lower than what a house will appraise for. I'm not sure why, but I can't even answer that. But normally that's the situation. Not always, but normally that's the situation. So that's not uncommon. That's pretty much the way it is in most markets. All right. William Whitfield, do you use memorandum agreement to protect your deal? I filed that once in 14 years since when I've been doing it since 2003. So the date of this video, 14 years, I've only done that once. And it was a waste of money. So I'm not telling you not to do it, but I'm just answering your question on what I did or I do. So Simone Bryant, Mr. Taylor, my husband and I just discovered your page a week ago. You are still doing wholesaling with unlimited coaching. Yes, I am, Simone. You can go to flipman.net for current rates and options, or you can text me or call me. I'll be happy to answer your questions about my coaching and step-by-step courses on wholesaling houses and apartments. This is a moment, I guess I could go ahead and do a little house cleaning. If you're not aware, the 200 plus videos right on YouTube that many have taken advantage of to actually making money without ever talking to me. I spilled my guts over the 9 years since August of 2008 right here on my YouTube channel. So you have an opportunity to take advantage of it. For some people, that's more than enough. For others, they would prefer step-by-step courses because the free video, they are a puzzle. They're not in any certain order, but it's all there. But you can get that at flipman.net. You can also download the contract that I've been using since 2003. It's a one-page contract being used all over the country. You can download that for free at flipman.net, and you can check out pricing on coaching and step-by-step courses that I've mentioned before. So back to the questions. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Snapchat, flipman.net. That's flipman, DOTNET, and on Twitter at the Flipman. Rita White says, hey, Flip, you doing good by yourself? Do you file contracts with the court to keep someone from stealing your deal? Well, I just thought I hadn't answered that with the memorandum contract. Only did it once, Rita. And I think it was a waste then. I got a little paranoid and, I really didn't have to do it. Rod Williams says, how often should you buy a new source list? I would say probably every 6 months if it's the same area. Now, if that's what you mean. If you're targeting different areas, it's going to be based on how you want to target those areas. So let me see what I got over here at Facebooky. I'm sorry, Instagram. I can't read. I'm gonna try to get to you, but just hold your horses. So let me see what here. All right, someone asked me about someone else's course. I haven't used that before, Tay. I think up in Rowan. I've never used that before. But to answer that in detail, an absentee list is going to give you the same thing. So there's really nothing special about a vacant list. I know people hear vacant and they automatically think it's a possible deal, but I've done a lot of deals where people live there. So the shotgun approach, I just don't want to say I want to just deal with vacants. I just want to find deals. They put the word, and I do some of it too, I guess. But they know those catchwords. You mean vacant, that means money. No, that doesn't necessarily mean that. You just want to find deals. Again, a lot of deals I've done, people live there, either the actual owner or they may have a renter in place. So just don't be limited to that. You just want to buy a deal. So you just buy an absentee list, it's just going to automatically encompass all of that. Claude says, thank you, Claude, for being here. Ron in Allentown, PA. think I'm saying that correctly. All right, Anthony asked another question. Anthony Tony Robinson, is there a time period on the contract that you provide? Is the contract like for 30 days or can you make it however long you want? Normally I do 30 days. If you can get away with longer, fine. But normally they're only dealing with you because you've agreed to, you can purchase fast, which 30 days is a reasonable amount of time. You know, sometimes you'll need longer, but 30 days is normally what I'll do, maybe 35, 36, something like that. So something in that range. All right. Hey, Flip. Let me see. I read that one already. All right, Ty, have you ever had a seller pull out of a deal after you have a buyer in place and the title has been pulled? They had liens and taxes. Yeah, I've had all kind of deals to fall flat on, to fall apart. But yeah, I've had sellers to do that before. I've had sellers to pull out not because of taxes or liens, but I had a plenty of deals to blow up in my face because of liens or whatever. We just can't correct it. Well, I'm not really liens. It's just they didn't buy it correctly. Normally, it's a chain of titles messed up and it can't be corrected. That's been my most failures as far as deals not going through because of bad titles or whatever. So not really liens because normally those can be handled. It happens though because sometimes they owe more than what'll make sense for the deal. Let me see here. So I'm trying to find my place here, guys. I'm sorry. Y'all coming too fast. Okay, so there we go. Boom, boom. Okay, so there we go. All right, there we go. So it's pronounced Lisa. So sorry, Lisa, 724. One of the properties I'm searching shows that the current owner has a quick claim. The person paid $10. I can also see the previous owner of the property that has a loan. Well, that's probably still who is the actual owner in reality. So you can do it. You probably gonna have to deal with that person that received a quick claim. So because if there's a loan that's still in place on the property, the mortgage company still has a lien against it. So that's who you're going to have to deal with. Hopefully they have enough equity there where you can do a deal. So hopefully I answered that question for you, baby girl. Jim Tim says it's hard to wholesale a property with a realtor involved. I'm not going to say it's hard. It's just more difficult than when they're not involved. Keep in mind the realtor has to pay their bills, so they're first. So the more they sell it for, the more money they make. So that's against you. All right. And they're going to have some influence in most cases over the seller. Some of the things you can do to get around it. I have videos on it, but don't bring your realtor to the table. Deal directly with the listing agent. Give them an opportunity to make 100% commission. Use the greed factor of humans in your favor. If you bring another realtor into the deal, that means they got to split the commission. But if you contact them directly without representation yourself, you give them an opportunity to make 100%. So they entitled. It's more likely that they'll take the offer that you're going to submit versus if you brought your own realtor to the table, because they may end up even making more money, even though you may have offered substantially less than what they were asking. So, but yeah, it can be done. Understand they're going to want earnest money and in most cases, proof of funds or a combination of both. So, but yeah, to answer your question. All right, Quinn, thank you. I'm trying. Quinn said, I'm doing a great job. I'm trying to do this by myself. All right. Michael says, where do I find a title company? I have, how many letters is it? 6. I have a 6-letter word for you. Google. All right. I'm heading into H-Town now. He's on the road trucking. That's what's happening, Playboy. All right. Chauncey. All right. Chauncey said, hey, Ty, please give a brief example of the conversation when you make or receive your first call as a wholesaler? What question do you ask either way? When you say your first call, who are you calling, Chauncey? Please identify, are you calling a seller or a buyer? Because that'll make a difference as far as your conversation. All right, Quinn says, would you approach a realtor who has house listed, and if so, how would you go about it? I think I just went through that, Quinn, so hopefully you were listening. All right, James Bowers says, in order to do a deal, it has to be with owner, right? Yes. I talked to a guy, but his dad is the owner, but he has not made clear that he has a POA. Well, I've done with relatives, normally kids of parents to handle the transaction. So that's not uncommon, so as long as, you know that you're dealing with someone that can make the decision, the dad will probably have to sign off on it if he doesn't have a power of attorney, AKA POA. So yeah, you can do it. It just depends on if you feel like he's being transparent and actually has say so when if the property can be sold or not. All right. I'm not sure what this person's name is, but I'm going to read the question. Do you recommend auctions to go get better deals? If you have the cash money, yes. Now, understand you're going to be bidding against other people, so you're going to have to know what you're bidding on and what your max is. But if you have money, yes. But if you're trying to wholesale, no, because you have to have the money at the auction. Well, y'all know y'all rubbing in with these Astros. I'm really not a baseball fan. I didn't have a dog in the fight, but I guess if I had to choose a team, I don't know why I was pulling for Houston or whatever. So I guess go Stros also. Go Astros. All right. Mike said, what's going on, family? I hope everyone is doing well. Thanks, Mike, for showing up. All right. Do we got anything on Facebook again? Let me see here. All right. Ty, can I copy some of your websites? Hook me up with the hookup. Nothing prevents you from copying, Ron, from Facebook. Claude says, do you think I should shoot for 45 days on the contract? Hey, everything is negotiable, Claude. Ty, can you help me find the value of a multifamily? Submit it at iccre.com. Ron, that's iccre.com. That's IC, the letter C, RE.com. CRE means commercial real estate. All right, back to YouTube. Okay, I lost my place again. Let me see here. I hope you guys are bearing with me, man. Adrian, boy, I miss you. Oh, I miss you. Oh, you make this so easy. All right, let me see. Where are we? I'm looking, all right. Keisha Shaw said, I'm looking for an investor in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm having a hard time finding one. Help. An investor for what, Keisha? Could you be a little bit more specific? Because Atlanta is full of them. All right, Lee Bailey. When you find a house, what's up? What up, Lee? My guys at the gym. When you find a house that a seller wants to sell and there are tenants in place, do you need to find out when the lease is over, or does it matter? Yeah, it does. You need to find out the status of the renter. Is it a month to month, or do they have how much time do they have left on the current lease? Yes, that will matter for sure. All right. Jay says, do you have a checklist video when you go into a home to evaluate it? I don't have one that detailed. I've had some repair videos over the years. Maybe I need to do something like that and walk through with one of my contractor guys that know a lot more than me or whatever. So I may do that in the future. Good video idea. All right. Pharrell said, I'm looking at a property on the market that was damaged in 2015, Florida, South Carolina. Asking price is $25K. ARV is $149. Is this a deal or bust? That's $24,000 in equity. Even if you had to put 75 in it, it's still a deal. So I'm gonna say, yeah, I couldn't imagine it unless it's just a lot of square footage that it wouldn't be a deal. So the question is, how many repairs? Just like Shaq is asking. All right, Vanessa Rogers said, is it harder to wholesale more expensive property like 400,000 and up? No, it's not. If the property is 400, you can get it for 200. Nope, no different. You can close. It doesn't matter. If it would have been 4 million, you can get it for 2 million. Nope, it doesn't matter. So, but just has to be a great deal. You can find the money. All right, let me see what we got here. Oh, and I didn't upload my image. God dog it. I forgot to do it, but anyway, that's cool. All right, Markayla Johnson says, is it okay to show the buyer contract between yourself and the homeowner if they ask? It's rare I do that. It's rare. It's rare. It is rare. I'm just going to say that. I'm going to say no. I've done it a couple of times. And I think each one of those, the deal didn't go through just from memory. So I would move on if a buyer's tripping like that or whatever. The only way I'd probably do that, if they're going to trip like that, tell them to put earnest money in hand. You show them whatever you want. Which they're probably not going to do that, but that's where I would try to handle them because they sound like they're trying to handle you. So, does the garage or carport count as part of the square footage of the house? No. All right, guys, let me find my place again here. Bear with me again. If you're trying to access the Flippinars in the future, just go to Flippinar.com. There's an instructional video there, but all you have to do is just tap the banner for YouTube or Facebook. But I lost my place. All right. Is there a discount for your mentor, Spence? I'm not sure what you mean by that. No, it's not a discount. There's no discount, Spence. It is said, well, I think it's discounted compared to what's out there, and I know what I offer compared to what's out there. I think it's tremendously discounted. You all know. A lot of y'all have been in these seminars and got hit up with the big, hey, I'll be your coach fee. You know what's out there. Deborah says, what contingencies are best to get out of a deal? I'm not sure what you mean there. I know what you mean by contingency. I'm not sure what you're specifically pointing to. Kim Lee says, can you do a Flippinar on wholesaling mobile homes next time? I'll put a little information out there. Mobile homes is wholesaling mobile homes. I'll just go into it a little bit. You have to understand that it's not like a house, it's like a car. So it's like you're trying to wholesale a car. Think of it in that terms. It's just the car can move, well, you can move a mobile home, but you know what I mean. And they have title in hand in most, well, not all the time, because they can have a mortgage on and they don't have a title. Just like a car, they don't have a title. So when you pay the car off, then the title is sent to you. So a bill of sale is drawn up or whatever. So you have to think about a mobile home in that sense. So putting it on a contract, and I sort of had to learn this the hard way, even though I put a video out on this, is that may not mean anything, because if your buyer talks to the seller, they hand them cash, they sign the title, you're out of the picture. So in most cases, you're going to probably have to end up buying those unless you can just really time it correctly, hoping that the seller doesn't live there and you got access to it. And you probably may have to get the buyer to trust you or whatever. So we're dead on Instagram. We're going to go back live here. And but anyway, but yeah, so it's a little different than wholesaling. How it was a lot different than wholesaling houses because they actually have the title in hand. So that's the tricky part of it. All right. So what else do we have here? We have anything from Facebook? No. Let me see. Well, what if a homeowner is the bank? Is it cool to do business with them as far as putting a contract in place? Anthony from Facebook. I guess he means if their seller if they're seller financing, if they're actually seller financing, can you do business with it? Yeah, if the terms are in your favor, Anthony, you could do that. Pace said, if you have from Facebook, if you have a decent deal, but it's for a small amount, it's worth you to look for a hard money lender. I'm not sure. Define a small amount, Pace. Hopefully, I'll answer before we end up here. All right. Ralph here says, how do I know if I have a good deal, a good assignment contract for Georgia, or where can I find one? Well, the various answers that they got templates online, bro. He's right, Ralph. That's just a Google search away. Google is your friend. YouTube is your friend. YouTube can be your BFF, and Google owns YouTube, if you all didn't know that. Let's see what else we got here. Ralph says, I'm in Atlanta as well. Been having a hard time with a good doc contract. I'm not sure why, Anthony. My contract is being used all over Atlanta. It's free at flipman.net. Wow. Yeah, but I did well. You followed up, so you can get it at flipman.net. Just submit your phone number and name, and boom, you can get it. Thanks, Shaq. What's going on, Vanola? Are the kids watching? Vanola in Jacksonville. Daniel Turner says, Ty, what CRM do you use? Sadly, I don't, and I may be actually, well, I'm just going to leave it at that. Right now, I don't. Yvette says, hi, Ty, I'm in Atlanta area. I haven't seen a lot of people on your channel from Atlanta. How do you feel about this market? Do you have any students here? Yeah, I have students in Atlanta, and I can actually see where the cities where people watch my videos from, and Atlanta is going to be in the top 3 or 4. So I have a lot of people that follow me in Atlanta, if nowhere else, in the ATL. It's only 2 hours from Birmingham, so. All right. Ralph also do locate property. Well, he just advertising there. So, all right. 10 says, what's the minimal, 10 man said, what's the minimum amount of signs you recommend? I'm going to say 10 man, 100, 200 is ideal. You can get 200 signs from Dirt Cheap Signs for less than $200. One color, 9x24 horizontal flutes. All right, so let me see here. Vanilla. Vanola says, Ty, should I drive for dollars while I wait for calls from bandit signs? Always, baby girl, as much activity that you can put into play, you want to try to do that. All right. Oh yeah, Ty, we're going to Wholesale Magic City. Oh yeah, yes sir. All right. Yeah, Vanola, what's going on? Tell the kids what's up. Tell them to be good. Thanks for watching. That's what's happening. All right, so I don't see anything on Facebook. So guys, I'm worn out. I'm just going to tell you, I hadn't did this in a long time, but we got an hour in. So again, my girl couldn't be here tonight. Woo. So again, I appreciate you guys showing up. I had to be a little gator tonight to do this by myself or whatever. But again, tell a friend, family member, Flippinar.com. You can go there to access. I made a quick video to show you how to get access to it. Make sure you take advantage of the 200 plus videos. You want a free copy of the contract that I've used since 2003. You can get a free copy at flipman.net. You want coaching, step-by-step courses, flipman.net also. Again, thank you all for showing up tonight. This has been a real one. I tried to get it in, even though I didn't have my sidekick with me. But again, she left a couple comments in there, but I'm worn out. Normally we'll go a little longer, but hey, I've done the best I could. I did. I've done the best I could tonight. My brain is hurting, and trying to look and read or whatever, and somewhat try to screen what I'm reading. So again, thanks for showing up, guys, and we'll see you on the flip side.